I had some sales.
So we're live for
Oh
episode
God,
8.
live. All right. I was not ready for that at all.
I figured you weren't. That's why I did it. So, what's up? It's Friday. It is November 3rd.
It is not Friday. It is Saturday.
Oh, in my face.
That's the
I am
life of
dumb.
a that's the life of a full-time reseller. Doesn't matter
It,
what day it is.
it doesn't. They're
Doesn't matter.
all a day.
Yep.
Uh, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah, I thought it was Friday. It is Saturday. Uh, Friday, actually, and Thursday. I was filling a Dodge Caravan to the roof with auto parts.
Okay, so all I know is that you were on an auction website.
Okay, so
How did you find it?
Monday or Tuesday, I was on Instagram and I see this sponsored ad, and it's for this auction company, and I don't remember what the ad even looked like or said, but for I saw that it was auto parts and that it was somewhat close, so I clicked on it, and it takes you to this website, and I was like, oh shit, this auction has 1 day left, and most of the prices are still pretty low. So this is a Napa Auto Parts store, and they were closing down, and they were just auctioning off, everything that they had left. They were auctioning in the shelves. They auctioned off the counter. Like, if you've ever been into a Napa store, it's blue and yellow all over the store. And the counter's blue, and it's got like a yellow border around it, and then there's a header above it that also says Napa Auto Parts. They auctioned that off. So don't know where I was going with that. Lost my train of thought.
It's fine. They're auctioning
Yeah, they were
literally what
auctioning
you
all the
just said.
parts off. So there was a bunch of them that were still pretty low. And they had like a day left, and these are probably 6 7 day auctions, I guess. And so I bid on a bunch of them, probably 20 plus. And so the next day comes around, and there's an hour or two left, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm still winning a lot of these auctions, like over $1,000 worth of auctions.
All right, real quick. So, how many
I
auctions do
don't
you think there were?
appreciate you
No, no,
interrupting.
no. No. I'm trying to
I just don't.
understand it. How many auctions were there total, do you
Total,
think?
I bet there were 100. So they're broken down into lots. Uh, so the auction is for the Napa Auto Parts store, and then there's probably 100 lots. So every lot would be like, say, an end cap.
Okay.
Some of them would be, what do you call? What's the opposite of an end cap? What's in the middle? What is that?
I mean, the side shelf.
Side
Now,
shelf. There would be, one of them be a side shelf.
were the pictures of the product on the shelf?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool and not cool, because the pictures weren't good enough to see part numbers.
Um,
But anyway, I saw what it was. Some of it was starters, alternators, stuff like that, and that's pretty much given money. Like that's gonna sell. Um, so about an hour until it closes, and I'm sitting there on WhatsApp with you, and I'm like, man, what is this? Like, going back and forth. I'm checking all my bids, and I'm winning everything. So then about 30 minutes till uh, till the auction ends, I start hearing ding, 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 and I'm like, what the hell is that noise? So I go and I see all of them that I was winning were green at the time. Then I see red, 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 red. I was like, motherfucker. So I was getting outbid. So it has a countdown timer. So, like I said, it was about 30 minutes or so. Once it gets down to about 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you hear that dinging even more. So it got down to seconds, like 30 seconds. And I would, and I'm used to eBay, an eBay auction where
yeah.
you get down to the end, and if you're that last one that can hit the button, you're good, you got it. So I would get down and I'd have like 1 second, and I'd Boom, hit the bid. Boom, it ups the time to 5 minutes again. I was like, and I remember texting you. I was like, "What is this? Why does it do this? How many times can it go back and
Forever.
do?" And I was like, "Man." So say I get outbid. Well, then say there's three people bidding on it. I bid it up again. Well, then it throws another 5 minutes on it. Somebody outbids me. It throws another 5 minutes on it. So you're some of these were going up from 1 second back to like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And it had my blood pressure up. I was like, man, these people.
Yeah. So my question, because I use public surplus a lot, and it does the same. I mean, it's the same exact thing where you try to do the last second bid,
Yeah.
and it adds time on there. So you said you had bid on 30 auctions. Like, how were you just jumping back and forth in between all of them, like trying to?
So the way theirs was set up, and I just now noticed that I didn't have my camera set up to switch back and forth between us. So that whole story I told, your face was in there. So I
Oh,
apologize to our
nice.
audience for having to see that. But so the way it was set up was you could go to like two different views. You could. Yeah, more or less, there's two different views. One where there was like a grid thing, and it would just show like a little icon of that lot, and then it would have like maybe four across and however many down, 50 to a page or whatever. And once it got down to just a couple seconds left, that that auction would like kind of go up to the top, so it would kind of prioritize
Mm,
all of them.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I can show you real quick. This is a site that I use a lot, the public surplus, and this is Harris County, and you can tell all these are from the same kind of lot. They all end at the same time, but what he's talking about, for those of you who are watching, is that, let's say, time left is 1 minute, and I put in my bid. My minimum bid is 503. If I do 503 and hit submit, it automatically goes back to five.
Yeah.
So it's smart for the auction company. It really is.
It's kind of dirty for the buyer though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for sure. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, imagine the money that they wouldn't get if they didn't do that.
Yeah,
Just
but
imagine.
it's kind of like, I don't know. It just seems dirty. Like, is that what it's like in real life auctions?
I don't know.
Yeah,
So, all right. So how many auctions did you end up winning?
I ended up winning 17 auctions. Okay, so here's the thing. This place was 2 hours away from my house.
Hmm.
Um, I just took a Dodge Caravan, and
Where'd you get the caravan?
it was my grandma's.
Okay.
Anyway, so I took the me and my wife, she took off work, and we went to go pick up these auctions. And in the pictures, it only shows like maybe one or two pictures for each lot. I'm gonna call it auction a lot because I'm new to this and I'll probably just say it wrong. But so it's metal shelving. Like if you've ever been in the back of a parts house or in really the
Hmm.
back of any warehouse, you're going to have metal shelving which you can access from both sides. So there's a front and the back usually. Well, I didn't know it, but these auctions, when I bought the auctions, a lot of them were say this column of shelves is 167. Well, the next one next to it is 168. Well, I thought you just get the front of 167. No, you get the front and the back. So,
Whoa.
yeah. So I bought 17.
Whoa. All right. So how much money are we talking?
I spent 1,081. They actually had tax on it at first, so I sent them my tax exempt form, and they took the tax off. The tax was only like $76, which seems
Yeah.
kind of weird. Maybe their
So
tax is low there.
$1,000.
$1,000.
And how many items do you think you got? Pieces?
Oh, uh, man. Let me try to think. Hundreds, if not 1,000. Because some of this stuff is small. You know,
Yeah.
some of maybe not that much. I don't know. There's a bunch of hardware in it and a bunch of books.
Yeah, I saw the books. They're manuals, like
Yeah.
car manuals. Is that what they were?
Uh, if you've ever gone into an older auto parts store, they'll have books on the counter, it usually has like the older information for the older engines and stuff like that. So it's just basically what they have on the computer now, but it's the old stuff. Uh, but yeah, so it's all parts manuals. God, I
So
bet there's 300 of those or so.
when did God dang, you're gonna have fun with that. So when did you find out about the auctions?
Okay, so I found out about the auctions like Monday or Tuesday, right? And like I said, it was on an Instagram ad, and I bet on them that day. They ended the next day, and then let me see that. So it must have been, yeah, it must have been Monday that I initially bid on them. Tuesday they closed. Maybe it was Tuesday, Wednesday. Anyway, whatever it was, when the auction closed, they sent an email and they said, you know, you have to have your auctions picked up by November 1st, which was like the next day. No, no, no. Okay. So it was Monday, Tuesday. I got the email Tuesday that said you must pick them up by November 1st. So I had one day in between. So I was
Yeah.
like, Amanda, take off work if you can. And she could, luckily. And yeah, we had to go pick them up on Thursday. So we filled the van to the brim. Like the suspension squatted. You know, I didn't know if we
God
were going to
dang.
make it back home. I figured we'd have a blowout for sure. So I get
Wow.
home, and I think I've talked about this before, but I have a whole bunch of crap in my garage, mostly inventory, and I can't fit anything else in there. This is going to be probably about 3 pallets full of parts, if not 4, you know, total worth of stuff that we bought. It's not going to go in my garage. So on the way home on the road, I called the storage unit place that I talked to a while back. I said, give me that 15 by 50 unit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
15 by 50.
15 by
15
50.
by 50.
Yeah.
You could fit a motorhome in
That
there.
is literally what it's for. It is a motorhome storage unit.
Oh, that's funny. So my question is, because you're gonna have to photograph every bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Some of it's on Amazon. There's a couple like Delphi auto pump or fuel pumps that are on Amazon.
it's
But
true.
everything else pretty much is Napa branded. So it's pretty much all private label Napa brand.
But
So yeah, so most of it will have to be photographed.
so eBay,
Yeah.
they don't have Napa parts on Amazon.
I looked, I didn't find it, but I haven't, I'm going to be
Mm,
honest with you, I haven't delved into it that far yet. You know, so
that sounds like fun.
it's going to be fun. And, you know, you kind of brought it up the other day and we're talking about it, about the van and stuff. And it just made me think, like, why haven't I been doing this? You know, it's just,
No, why? Now you said that wrong. So when you say why haven't I been doing this, you need to
well,
explain that.
I think it's more of like a self sabotage type of deal, you know, like you just you know that you would be successful in that. Sometimes you know you get in your head about stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
weird.
I don't know why I didn't do it, but you know. Anyway, so now I'm doing it, and you know, like you said, it's right in my wheelhouse. It's right up my alley. It's just, I mean, I know
Yeah.
automotive stuff, so why not put that knowledge to use? And I
Hmm.
was a parts manager before this, so it's like, why wasn't I doing this? And I still have contacts in the
For a
business.
year, but it's been a year.
A
It's
year. It took
been
me a year
yeah,
to kind of
awesome.
say, hey, idiot.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's
But
what it is.
yeah, that's good.
What are you
That's
gonna
good.
do?
Do what you know. Do what
Yeah.
you know. You know,
So now I'm looking for some shelves.
build some, man. Get some 2x4s.
Nah, bruh.
No,
Nah, I want some metal shelves. This stuff's heavy. Like real heavy.
is it really? It looks like. I mean, I see.
Starters and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I bet
heavy.
you there's 25 starter, or excuse me, like 25 alternators, probably 10 starters or so, and then you've got, oh, I can't tell you how many sets of brake pads I have.
Are they all Napa branded?
Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of it's gonna be heavy.
That's gonna be good though. That's a lot of money. And I think you made a good deal.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I found, like I said, those three Delphi fuel pumps were going anywhere from 100 to 150 a piece on Amazon. So
Hmm.
that's, minimum $300 right there. I don't think my math's good, but
Yeah, it's
it,
fine.
it,
It's fine. I mean, I'm looking at eBay right now, just on Napa, Napa brake pads.
are they actually showing up on there?
Hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
And also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the OEM part number and put it on there too, because some of those listings they may not have listed them correctly because it's a Napa branded product, but they're really also another part number.
Yeah, that's true. There's the car industry is like extremely heavily dependent on part numbers. I mean, it's all part numbers. You know better than
Yeah,
anybody. But it's not like something that I mean, you can search for it using the title, but if you don't create your descriptions the right way, you don't put the part numbers the right way, when people are Googling those things, that's how they find them. They don't just go, Chevy brake pads. There's going to be a part number for your specific car. So
yeah,
that's true. I mean, it's going to be important to get those listings right.
yeah. Yep. Okay. So I've got some interesting news, some exciting news. We're on the internet.
Well, yeah, right now,
Yeah.
technically,
But we're also on iTunes.
that's pretty cool.
We are on iTunes now. I don't know about you, but that's pretty cool.
Yep, I love it. And I didn't. Hey, I didn't think that was gonna be like a thing. Like I didn't know we were gonna get to that. I mean, we're not like world famous Joe Rogan, but like when I type in reseller collab, like this is pretty cool.
Yeah, right? Like all of, oh, excuse me.
Like that's there's my face.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that crazy?
all right,
So
is
pretty
it
much
nice?
what? Almost the first 5 or 6 things are
Yeah,
us.
yeah. I mean, up to right here. If you do iTunes, let's see. Are we on iTunes? I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't think you know how to internet, my friend.
I'm not interneting very well.
Yeah.
Yep, no,
Yeah, you're
none of
not
this
good at all.
exists.
Those are images. What is?
Oh, look, boom.
Holy
Did
cow. Go up a little. That was
where?
my Instagram post.
This one right here?
No, go up a little. That lucky you one.
Oh, this one right
I
here? Oh
think,
yeah,
yeah.
PRC podcast. Yep.
Click on it. What the hell is Deskgram?
Desk. Okay, might not be able
Oh,
to.
that's like an Instagram uh, third party app or something.
Okay, yeah, desk.
Huh.
Desk. Huh. Look at that.
I'll be damned.
Look at that. That is pretty cool. I like this.
I don't know that guy.
I don't know either. Let's
Yeah.
just stay right here. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean,
The
that's pretty awesome. So yeah,
internet's
no,
a
it's
mysterious
awesome.
thing. Oh, go up. Sound
No,
drop.
too late.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, exciting news for the world of podcasting. You know.
And seeing as how like most of the world has a iPhone or has at least has access to iTunes,
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy week. We haven't done a podcast in like 2 weeks. We
It
were
has
gonna do
it.
it.
I feel like it's been longer than that,
No, I think
but
it's been a good 2 weeks because last Saturday you were doing something, and then it was like maybe we'll do it that night, but I was tired, and then we ended up having to go to the emergency room, and so it was just like terrible, terrible timing. and then I had stuff at work earlier in the week, so it's been
Yeah.
busy.
Well,
It's been so busy.
it's Q4, man.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And so, okay, let's talk about Q4. I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, I can't remember when shit started getting crazy.
I can't either. I think it's about like mid-November, uh, Black Friday and after, for sure, for sure.
But here's the thing. Here's where this year we have to like notate that. We have to know like because I mean I literally I can probably guess right around Black Friday, but like I've been trying to keep on my phone using my notepad. I've been trying to keep track of trends and seeing when trends start and when they end and how long
Why
they're.
don't you use your calendar on your phone? I
Well,
just
because I just use my notepad for everything, like
Well, what I'm
literally
saying
everything.
is you can set that day and then have it remind you every year.
No, no, yeah, no. I get what you're saying, but I'm
Oh,
talking about
go fuck yourself.
like I'm trying to create a list of like like the life cycle that these toys go through. So it's like, okay, Poopsie unicorns got hot and then they just kind of died off for a while and then they got hot again. Well, then, analyze how long is that gap? Is that gap because of popularity? Is it gap because of like shipping lead times? Like, and then next year, you
I
know,
see.
you're going to be able to know, like, yes, you're going to gain that experience, but I feel like you need something to come back on and be like, okay, this is what happened last year.
Yeah,
I guarantee you,
yeah,
we don't. I mean, Harry Potter socks. I
yeah,
can't remember when that was. Pretty sure December, but I don't know when that started. And
yeah,
that was a hot item last year.
yeah.
So
It's good to that's what we should all be doing is writing that stuff down, and we can keep track of that stuff in the group too if you want to do that. Uh, and we have actually talked about that before. Me and me and Jay, we talked about doing like a Google Calendar, that we all
mhm,
had access to, and just
that's
putting
a good
dates and
idea.
stuff on there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe that's something we need to do. Yeah. So anyway, if you have been on the Seller app lately, Amazon Seller app, you have most likely seen a banner across a listing that you're looking at that says fulfillment by Amazon required.
Yeah. Did you
I
see
have
the eBay? Did you say the eBay sellers app?
no
Okay.
Amazon. I don't think I
Yeah,
did. I'll have
I
to
think you
roll
did.
back the tape.
But yeah, so it's new. It's new.
I've asked resellers in the community what it is, what it means. Nobody seems to know, except that fulfillment by Amazon is required on that product. I'm thinking, if there's a product that's hot enough to need that banner, what if I mean, surely it's going to be a product that's going to be selling out. So, merchant fulfill, you don't have to clog up the FBA system, with inventory and all that and wait on it. And I just don't understand why Amazon would not allow you to merchant fulfill that.
I think here's what I think. I think that Amazon is literally going to push hardcore this year on trying to completely like act as a brick and mortar store and sell like a brick and mortar store, but on the e-commerce level. Like
What
and
do you
when I
mean? You
so
mean
let me gather my thoughts. So when Toys R Us went down, I mean, literally, that was I mean, Toys R Us sucked, right? But they were the toy store when it comes to Q4. Like they had everything. That's when they made all their money, right? And so there was a lot of competition. You had Walmart, pretty low prices, Target, not that impressed, and then you had Toys R Us. Toys R Us is gone. I've seen Amazon do get on listings for pre-orders. I've seen Amazon do this for FBA required, and what that, in my opinion, what that is doing is grabbing control of that market, controlling the fact that people are purchasing all these pre-orders at full retail price, and not getting price gouged, or not getting under, not undercutting the brick and mortar stores. And then you have Amazon requiring FBA on these so that they can guarantee the customer experience is going to be good. And so I feel like, and I'm not very good at saying it and putting it the right way, but I feel like Amazon is really going to start trying to train the consumer that when it comes to toys, and this is just toys right now, but when it comes to these items, Amazon is no different than any other retailer. They can shop, they know they're guaranteed delivery on their toys. There's no pressure when it comes to holidays because they have all these pre orders. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
So are you
I,
saying that Q4s in the future will have no price wars? Will have no. Is that what you're kind of hinting at? I mean, but FBA required doesn't really support that point, though. How does that? How would?
FBA required means that Amazon controls the consumer, the Amazon to consumer exchange. So there are no liabilities with merchant fulfilling sellers that are jumping in Q4 and shipping these orders, and they may get there, they may not get there. They've gated a lot of people in some of these hot toys to completely, eliminate some of the competition. But I don't know, I feel like it's coming very soon to where Amazon is going to be pushing out a lot of the third party sellers, and they're just going to corner that entire market, and they're not going to get all of it because Walmart and Target are there, but who else is there? There's really nobody else.
Yeah.
So if you can say, if I'm a mom and I'm sitting here in October, September, October, and early November, and I can pre-order these, and I know I'm getting them early December, I'm doing it in a heartbeat. I have no, and then I don't have to overpay for it. I don't, I trust Amazon. Amazon delivers on what they promise. So I don't know, man. I don't like it. To be honest, I don't like it.
I
For
think
me, for me,
to me it's market manipulation. It takes out the free will of the consumer to buy it at a higher price if they want to. Like, so Amazon is actually, they are actually holding and keeping the buy box on products that they are only taking pre-orders for, but yet FBA sellers and merchant fulfilled sellers actually have them in their hands and in FBA warehouses. To
uh,
me, that's not right. To,
well, but yeah. I mean, I don't think it's right because they don't have it. But I do feel like the fact that they're doing that just shows it's like they're just
oh, it
trying to
shows
train the
something.
customer. They're
Yeah.
just trying to train the customer that you know,
That they have the customer's best interest at heart.
and that they're just like any other retailer. There's no difference between getting it from Amazon or getting it from Walmart. There's no, if I'm a new Amazon shopper and I go on there and I see in the buy box is like 70, 80, $90 for Rapple, to use a stupid example, then I'm like, that turns me off immediately. Now, if I see 14.99 for a raffle and I can pre-order it and it says guaranteed delivery by December 2nd, and then I see on the side available now from 60 to 80 to $90, then I have a choice. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like
So, yeah,
I don't know.
and I wonder too if this has to do with the backlash that they received last year, which was horrible backlash of price gouging, and they didn't just say price gouging; they said that Amazon is price gouging. Is what I heard through the media, is the way they portrayed it, which, as we know, probably 99%, probably over 99% of people out there don't know that there are such things as third party sellers.
That's correct. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. There's many people that they have no clue who they're buying it from.
I didn't know until I started FBA until I found out about FBA, and soon after started selling on it. I did not know that you were not buying from Amazon when you went on Amazon. I didn't even know that you could buy at a different price.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't either. I had no idea. But I think, you do think Amazon's trying to hide that fact? I mean, they don't advertise it. They don't advertise that, hey, buy from, well, I
They
take that
did the
back.
one I
I
saw
take that back. Yeah.
one commercial the other day, but to me, God, and I was talking. Was that I talked to you about that? That it's almost like they're trying to say it, and I took this, this is probably a stretch, but I took it as them having a commercial that says, half of all their things sold on Amazon are sold by third party, small businesses. To me, what that did was that let them off the hook for any price gouging that happens this Q4.
Yeah. I mean,
You
it
know?
could it could very well be. I mean, but even then, it doesn't really mention third party sellers, and
It doesn't explain it at all. So they could really it could be interpreted as shipped and sold by Amazon could be bought, one out of every two times is a small business that you're
yeah,
buying from, even if it
yeah.
says Amazon. So yeah, what are you gonna do?
I know it's crazy,
You're not.
crazy.
Hey man, let's talk about something you brought to light the other day about countering on eBay and
Oh,
and the
yeah.
making somebody pay now, pay immediately, and kind of there's nothing worse. There is nothing worse than getting somebody that won't pay for the item that they have already bought on eBay.
Mm, yeah, there really is nothing worse. I hate it, and I actually got this idea off of a Facebook board, and you know, there's so many times when people they'll still throw out an offer, and it's excuse me, it's either good or bad. If it's good, you accept it, and then you just have to cross your fingers that they pay. There's no ramifications if they don't. Zero for that buyer. They don't have to pay. They literally do not have to pay, and it's not a big deal, and they can just keep on doing it. So one of
Let's
the
let's let's stop and tell our viewers what happens when somebody doesn't pay. It's not that you're just pissed off because you don't have their money for that sale.
yeah, it's there's multiple things that happen. Number
The
one, your listing. If you only have one of this item, your listing is gone. Okay, so it acts as if it's sold, so it takes it down off of eBay. Where two, you're charged the 10% final value fees on the product, and it ties up your inventory. And
Yeah,
so
you don't know if you can sell that inventory.
right. Um so what I've done is I've actually started, if someone sends me an offer of $20, I'll counter at 19.99, and I counter a penny less, just so that it's on them to hit accept so that they pay right then and there, as opposed to them sending out a $20 offer and maybe going, I don't know, going on vacation or going to dinner or going somewhere, and then they end up just forgetting about it. They don't ever read their emails, and then you're screwed. So, you know, and this isn't a very short situation. I believe it's a 3 day window that they have. It's a 2 or 3 day window that they have to pay. I think it's two. I think it's a full 48 hours.
Which in Q4 is years.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So they can wait 48 hours, and then
Still not paying.
once, and then after the 48 hours, which is 2 days later, then you put in a request to get your final value fees refunded.
Reimbursed.
Yeah. And then you have to wait for that. And so it's like, and then and then, you have everything else going on in your business. And there's been many times where I've forgotten to relist the thing. I go through the motions,
Ouch. Yeah.
I claim my final value fee, and then I forget it. And then, down the line, I'm like, holy crap, I completely don't have that thing listed.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, but it is a try. Like there's no doubt about it that they have to pay immediately when they accept your counter.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they have. I mean,
Don't why do you keep giving
no,
out this information that you
no,
have
no, no,
no
no, no,
idea if
no,
it's
no.
true or
I'm,
not?
I'm I'm saying when you say that they have to pay, though, I think there's still that option to just not hit purchase on your credit card. But the difference is the fact that they're already in eBay, they're already in the app, or they're already on the website when they click accept.
God,
And
we need to set up a very small unlisted listing, and we need to do this. We need to actually go through the motions and buy it from me, or I'll buy it from you, or whatever, and see what it actually looks like on the buyer's end, so we can tell if. But I mean, every time you've done it, they've you've seen that PayPal
yep, every single
notification.
time, every single time, and it's been I mean, it has relieved a lot of frustration that I've had dealing with these people because it's just
I wonder if people wonder. They're like, wait, why didn't he just accept?
yeah. Well, I think even if the customer sends a $28 offer and you hit accept right then, there's still no guarantee. I mean, you can immediately accept it, and there's still no guarantee that they're going to actually pay.
Right, right. All right. Let's okay, we need to do a little update for the inventory lab thing that I said last episode, episode 7. I stated that in inventory lab, you can use it to list merchant fulfilled listing, or to make, excuse me, to make, yeah, to, it actually lists it on Amazon for you. What I use it for is I like to create custom SKUs. So I want to have that vendor, that date I bought it, the price I bought it, and the condition that I was selling it in. I like to have all that in the SKU. So you can do that through Inventory Lab. It creates it for you. You put in, the format you want, date, vendor, price, all that stuff, and it automatically creates it for that information you put in. When you put in your buy cost and the date you bought it and all that stuff, it automatically creates a custom SKU for that. So I said on last episode, which I was incorrect, I said that you can go in there and create it on Inventory Lab, and it would put your listing in an inactive state or incomplete state. That's not true. Apparently that happened for the one that I did a couple weeks ago, but I guess that's not the case all the time. So if you go on and you list something through Inventory Lab as an MF listing, it's going to make it active. As soon as you hit submit, it's going to make it active. So which my problem was, it doesn't allow you to change the shipping template inside of Inventory Lab. So it's going to give you that migrated template, that default shipping template on whatever you're merchant fulfilling. And we all know when you're merchant fulfilling, you're paying for that shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very important that it doesn't just throw a random default shipping template in there.
Yeah, that
So
could cost you.
yeah. So I'm going to read the email that I got from Inventory Lab here. And after we did that episode, I did another merchant fulfilled listing, and I saw that it went completely active, like immediately once Amazon received the information. So let's see here. Should have had this pulled up already.
So, so while you're doing this, this is really funny because a lot of times on some Facebook groups, people send you pictures of their solds and things like that on their phone. This gentleman has a picture. His lock screen is of his unlisted inventory. And so that every time he looks at his phone, it reminds him of all the inventory he still has to relist.
That's pretty
That's
smart.
pretty funny. That's really funny. I like that.
That's a really good idea.
And he's got a lot of inventory. This is a self storage. Looks like, yeah, self storage unit.
I really don't know where this email is. I mean, I just talked to him.
You are terrible at things.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
All right.
All right, so
All right.
shut up.
All right. Let's go.
All right.
Time to do it. Let's do this.
Okay, please
All right.
shut up.
Let's go.
Are you done?
Are you done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would be if you'd
I would
shut
be
up
if
for a
you shut
second.
up for a second. Michael Scott skit. I mean, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Are you really done?
Yeah.
You're not.
I'm done. I'm totally done, man.
You're such an asshole.
Charles Minor.
You can't help yourself.
No, I can't. I really can't. That was a good episode, though.
So basically, I just wrote him an email to sell it to Inventory Lab support, and I said, I really like the custom SKU ability, but without the ability to change the shipping template before it's submitted to safeguard against somebody purchasing it, with the improper shipping template, it's almost not worth it to get a custom SKU through Inventory Lab. And he said, that he told me before in another thread that a lot of people don't use that. And I told him, I said, this is possibly why people don't use this. Maybe tell somebody. So anyway, he said, hey, Aaron, what you could do is add the product in Seller Central manually, so you can then add the shipping template to it there. Then you can copy that M SKU, and when you list the item in this batch in Inventory Lab, just use that same M SKU, if this is a new item. So, and he had also, he also said, we were talking about seller support. He suggested that I open a case with seller support, and I laughed hysterically. And he said, yeah, I know. He said the seller support idea was a reach. We get frustrated with them too, but he said, luck of the draw, you might be able to get somebody that can actually help you. He
I
said,
find it
and then get out and get that lottery ticket. That was when there was a $1 billion lottery pool.
that one person won. I find it pretty interesting that Amazon, the most valuable company, can't have just such shitty service when it comes to helping their sellers. Like it's maddening that they
It's
don't do.
horrible.
It's just bad. I mean, I thought people were just bitching about seller support and blah 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 blah, but they are really bad.
Okay, when
Like,
I can call a company like Chase, and I can get a person on the phone that speaks in my native tongue and that can help me almost immediately, anybody can do it. If a company the size of Chase can have somebody and pay them, anybody can do it. There's no reason that Amazon can't do it. But we're not customers. They're customer centric. They're not seller centric.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still don't get it.
Oh, I don't either.
I still don't get it, but
It infuriates me.
it's, it's so bad. It's scary how bad it is.
Yeah. All right, man. I want to talk about some Bolo brands for eBay. Some of them may be Bolo brands for Amazon too, but this stuff, you're gonna find it. You're never gonna have a problem selling it. I don't care what type of economy we're having. The worse the economy, you'll probably sell more of these. But hand tool, like mechanics tools, stuff like that, is if you see it somewhere, buy it if it's for a good price.
Like, wait. So, explain to people who don't play with tools as much as you do. When you say hand tools, are you talking about like a
Wrenches
saw or like?
No, wrenches and sockets and ratchets and anything that a mechanic would probably use.
Okay, all right.
So a lot of these brands you're going to be looking for. Number one on the list, Snap-on. Snap-on. There's old stuff. The old stuff sells just as good as the new stuff, and it all sells. I mean, fast, because this stuff, if you're in the industry And like I said, I was a mechanic for quite a few years. Snap-on is one of the best brands out there, but it's also one of the most expensive brands. So people want to try to get it at a discount anytime they can. So they bring really good prices. They hold their value. Uh, I've even bought tools off of eBay and stuff. You know, you can't. It's not like a VCR or something where you have to test it and all. It either works or it doesn't, and it's very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work, most of their stuff's lifetime warranty, so you can take it to your local Snap-on dealer and get a new one. So if you buy broken tools, you can get them warranted and then sell them.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. Another brand is Matco. That's Matco, all one word. Also another amazing brand.
Interesting. So, okay, so again, as someone who never would have thought of like ever buying tools, like to me, if I go to a garage sale and I see Snap-on, Matco, whatever, like I never even think about buying it. Never. Because I feel like there's got to be a gajillion of those in the world.
No, buy them. It's like wigs, man, or hair extensions, like you said on last episode 7.
Yeah, learn about my adventures of hair extensions, aka thieves.
No, man, hand tools, they're tried and true.
Okay.
It's not like they have made huge advances in tools, hand tools. I'm not talking about power tools, because they have definitely made huge advances in power tools. And as far as like cordless tools, it depends. It has to be fairly relevant, and it has to be like a lithium ion type tool and all. But I would probably stay away from that. But a metal wrench, hand tool, ratchet, whatever, you're good. Yeah.
What brands would you avoid? What are the cheap brands?
Anything that Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, anything like that, you know.
Hell, I don't
Your
know.
Cobalts, I mean, they're not bad. And I have, plenty of that brand too. All those brands, the house brands and the brands that aren't the big brands. They work, but they're not going to bring you the money. You're going to have little to no resale value with most of that stuff. So that would be like your Cobalts, your I'm not sure if Ryobi makes hand tools. There's just a bunch of Black & Decker. There's a whole bunch of hand tools that are just eh. So if it's not a brand on the list I'm about to give you, I probably maybe wouldn't pick it up, or at least research it first.
Okay, that makes sense.
A prudent
So,
eBay seller is going to research everything anyway. But
so what? So you would say that Matco and Snap-on are the top two?
those are the top two, and some people would say Mac as well, MAC tools. They're good tools too, but I consider Matco and Snap-on to be the big two. And here's another little tidbit for you. Snap-on and Matco both have sub-brands. So they have a second tier line. For Snap-on, it's going to be it's going to be Blue Point. Yeah, Snap-on is Blue Point tools.
Never heard of Blue Point.
Yeah, they're basically a house brand of Snap-on, second tier. Their tools are just as good. They don't sell for as much, but they're still in demand. And then for Matco, it's called Silver Eagle. Also a good brand,
Silver
but
Eagle.
also not going to bring you as much money as a Matco tool. So then you have Mac. Mac tools, some people would say there's 3 top brands, Snap-on, Mac, and Matco. But Mac, it's good. They're good stuff too. I feel like they also have a second tier brand, but I don't know what it is. Cornwell, Cornwell, is also a good brand. Been around forever. Proto, Proto, also a good brand. They make toolboxes, they make tools, they make all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
And here's one that you may see, and you probably know about this brand, Fluke, Fluke. They make a lot of digital troubleshooting equipment like voltmeters, multimeters, stuff like that. If you see something that's branded Fluke, pick it up, at least run comps on it because most likely it's going to be money.
What
Uh,
what about Armstrong?
Hold on, shut up.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Armstrong, God, I feel like that's one of those could be good, could be bad. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But Fluke, uh, Fluke is not just limited to like mechanics. Fluke, my AC guy that came out the other day had a Fluke multimeter. So electricians, uh, plumbers, I'm sure have some. Mechanics. I've seen like carpenters, like all kinds of people use Fluke. So that's one that you may run into a little bit more often than some of these other brands that would just be kind of
Okay.
in the mechanics realm.
So what about Williams?
Don't know
Williams
about
says
that.
it's part of the Snap-on Industrial Group.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now,
Um,
some of this stuff that you're talking about may be specialized. So there's also like KD Tools. They make a lot of OEM uh, tools for very specialty applications. Like, say you need to get the crank pulley off of a 2006 Duramax,
mhm.
3500, whatever. There may be a special crank pulley socket you need. K&D Tools makes this. So that Williams may be a brand, kind of a subsidiary that would make some specialty tools. I don't know. I'd never heard of them, but it would be another one to look for and run
Yeah.
comps on.
I'm looking at some of the top hand tools. So, and Proto has been on every single one of them. So has Matco. This one has, let's see, Channel Lock.
Channel
Uh,
Lock's good. They're a good brand. Don't get me wrong. Probably not gonna find huge ROIs in them though.
yeah. What about Craftsman? Everybody knows Craftsman.
Craftsman, I it
My dad
depends.
has. My dad has a shitload of
Oh, I
Craftsman.
have a ton of Craftsman myself. That is literally the first tools I ever bought were Craftsman. They're a good brand. There are also lifetime warranty. I don't know how that's going to work now that Sears is fairly non-existent, but
Well, they're
Craftsman's
not
good. I don't
Crafts.
know about resale unless it's new or complete set that's hard to find.
Craftsman is not exclusive anymore. They're not the Sears exclusive. I can't remember exactly what.
I did hear that somebody was picking them up, maybe Home Depot or Lowe's
Yeah.
or Walmart. Somebody. I did hear that.
Looks like Lowe's.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like it's, yeah. So Craftsman is at Lowe's. You can actually buy it right now at Lowe's.
Okay.
So, that's interesting. I grew up thinking Craftsman was the end all be all of everything.
Yeah.
Just because my dad, that's all. I mean, he
Good
lawnmowers.
tools. Come to
I,
any individual, that's what you could get
yeah, I feel like I have heard quality concerns have gotten the you know
in recent
old
years.
yeah, old school Craftsman was just like couldn't beat it, but now I feel
Correct.
like I've heard some things.
But that could be said about most brands. A lot of stuff's getting outsourced to places and, using
That's true.
cheaper materials
Yeah,
and
that's true.
whatnot.
That's true. I tell you what, I saw that I found a vintage hair dryer, blow dryer from the early 1900s, and that thing. I mean, the fraying of the material outside of the cord was just falling off of it, but that thing, you turned it on and it got hot immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a tool that's close to 100 years old.
I think that's
Just
before they built in wear out properties.
Oh yeah, it was like a fiber. It
Yeah.
was really interesting. It reminded me of like fiberglass fiber, like that
It
you
probably was probably like asbestos or
it's
something.
probably something really bad,
Yeah.
but it felt like, I mean, it was just literally everywhere every time I moved the cord. But
Yeah.
anyways, I kind of wish I didn't sell that thing because it was
Yeah.
so cool.
Well, when I say wear out properties, I mean the
Oh, okay.
mechanics of
Yeah.
it. You know,
Yeah.
the fact that it turned on and still got hot. That was probably before they started engineering wear out properties, where after 10,000 uses, you know, something breaks or whatever. It's
Yeah.
that stuff's real. That's not a conspiracy theory. They do have to, you know, because think about this: if you make a product that's never going to wear out, which they can do, you know,
Mhm.
relatively never wear out,
Mhm.
how are you going to sell another one?
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
going to get passed
I
on
get
to
it.
somebody. But let me make a good point about the. I don't know if it's a good point, but
I'm
let me
about to
make
say
an.
we'll see about that.
Yeah. So let me make another point about the Snap-on Matco Mac. These are only available on trucks, so it's a franchise. So usually a guy, and I actually looked into doing a Matco franchise at one time. But you buy a truck, and I think you probably finance it through Matco, or you can, and you buy a bunch of inventory, a bunch of these Matco tools and some other brands that you can carry, and you drive around basically to all the mechanic shops and anybody that would use these tools. You just drive around all day, every day, and you sell tools directly off of this box truck. It's a specialty box truck, you know, that's set up for it with all the racks and all for tools, but you just drive around all day. So you can't go to any brick and mortar store and buy Snap-on, Matco, Mac, Cornwell, Proto. I'm pretty certain Cornwell Proto you can't buy at a store. You can buy Fluke. I know Sears used to carry Fluke and stuff, but those exclusive brands like Matco, Snap On, and Mac, you can't go to a store and buy them like you could Craftsman.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was looking at the the franchise startup fees for a Matco mobile tool unit, and
I
it's a
was up there
lot.
like 100,000 or something, or seventy
Yeah.
thousand.
Yeah, I think it's 91,000 on the low end,
Uh,
for everything you need. So yeah, that's pretty
yeah,
intense.
and you're busting your butt. You really are. You're in that truck probably 8 or 10 hours a day, and then I got you know I had fairly in depth conversations with our Matco guy at my old job, and I was asking him because I was kind of this was before I took the reselling route, but I was trying to figure out how I was going to get out of there, how I was going to move on to the next part of my career, whatever it may be, and that was one of the options I considered was getting a truck. And he said, you know, he does this 8 or 10 hours a day driving around, and then goes home and reloads the truck for another probably 4 hours. So it was definitely not a easy way to make a living.
So do they just drive these trucks to businesses and be like, "Hey, you want to buy some shit?"
Pretty much. Well,
That's awesome.
like so say you work at a Ford dealership. You know that Snap-on guy is going to be there most likely Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Every Monday morning at 9 o'clock, he's going to pull up and walk in and say, "Hey guys, everybody, all the mechanics are going to walk out and get onto that truck." And it is like a toy store. It is like an adult toy store. Not that kind of adult toy store.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's awesome. Man, if you're into tools and stuff, it's cool.
That's cool. I gotta
Yeah.
see what inside a Matco truck like.
Oh, it's like a bunch of chrome.
Oh wow.
You pull up a little screenshot of it.
Yeah.
And maybe a shot of the actual truck too. It's just a little cab over Isuzu or a you know, Chevy or GMC top
You'll
kick
have
or
to
whatever.
tell me if this is what it looks like
Yeah, that's
inside.
not a very good picture, but
This one is like
that's kind of better. It's hard
kind
to
of a
see there, but
360 degree. It's literally its little own little shop.
yeah, yep, that's it. I
that's
used to work on
that's
those trucks too. As a matter of fact,
yeah.
those Isuzus. It's funny.
Dang, they got these things.
Loaded down, and there's tools on the ceiling. Go back up. There's tools
Yes,
on the
yeah.
ceiling.
Jeez, that is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. I had no idea. I mean, I see these trucks every once in a while. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Ah, that's kind of weird."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think
cool
they
though.
make a lot of their money on financing those toolboxes. Those toolboxes are like, for the big ones, $5,000 and up. We had a guy
What?
that bought one that worked there. I want to say it was just the toolbox. It was $15,000.
God dang.
Stupid. In my opinion, stupid. You can go to Lowe's and get a Cobalt toolbox for. I think they had one for $1,800. I still would not pay that much, but like $1,800, and it had a freaking radio. I think it had a refrigerator in it. It had all kind of
God
crap.
dang. That's like that's some like that's like one of those things like women they like their like shoes and like their dream closets and
Yeah,
they
go
want
to
to
a
have
3-bay toolbox. Just type in like
mm,
3-bay toolbox.
jeez, look at this. Oh shit, look at this thing. Matco. This is Matco.
Um, okay, type in biggest Matco toolbox. I've seen ones that were like
This
freaking
like
long as a bus.
God
That's
damn.
that's a big one, but they make them bigger. Like you can link those things together. There you go. That I think is actually a 3-bay. That's
Jeez.
insane, right? That's probably $25,000 worth of toolbox.
I don't understand. What makes them so expensive?
You got me. They're good toolboxes. Go to Mac. Is it Macco or Mac? Go to Matco with dump truck on top.
Oh shit.
So there you go.
Holy crap. I'm going here. Wow. That is cool. That is shit.
Yeah. That is a dual axle dump truck on top of one, two, three, four, five, six toolboxes. Every tire has a toolbox under it,
That's
and it's
crazy,
and it's holding
man.
it up.
That's insane. I mean, I know that they have to be like toolboxes have to be super stout to
They
hold
don't
all
have to
that
be
weight.
that stout.
But this is overboard, like unless you want to store your big dump truck on top of them.
I
Like,
want to know how they got it on there.
yeah, that would be interesting.
And like the wheels, the casters are actually holding that thing up. Yeah,
Yeah.
the wheels of the. Actually, you know what? That one might be held up a little bit. I see something under it. No, it looks like the wheels. It looks like it's on the.
It
Yeah,
looks it's just on this
there's some
little
blocks
platform
or
here.
something.
I can't
Yep.
do well. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
very
anyway, Bolo brands, Macco, Mac, Snap On, uh, Cornwell, Proto, Fluke, any of those brands, you see it for under $1. If you don't, if you don't buy that, you should just take that money that you would have spent on it and put it in the trash can because you're stupid. And that's basically what you did.
I like it. That's interesting. That's really cool though. I mean I had no idea. I learned something. I actually learned
Yeah.
something.
Another good thing to look for is OEM auto parts, like new OEM auto parts.
Yeah.
It's also a good hot seller. Usually, if you find it, like I found at a Goodwill of all places, I found an air ducting for like a 94 to 2000 Mazda Miata without air conditioning. So when you take off the air conditioning on these cars, so these cars, believe it or not, Miatas are made into little hot rods a lot of like little road race cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess they take the air conditioners off of them a lot. But anyway, they make a duct that goes. What does it go to? I don't even remember what it ducts the air to. But anyway, I found one the other day inside of a Goodwill. And it was still in the package and still had the Mazda sticker with the part number on it. And I bought it. And that's, I mean,
That's awesome.
that you just type in that part number on eBay, find
Yeah.
comps, find solds, and dude, you're good to go. People want to buy
Yeah,
auto parts too, cheap.
it's a good thing about the part numbers too. It's just so easy to find comps.
Yeah, because what eBay seller's not going to put a part number in their listing? Well, you'd
A
be dumb
dumb
not
one.
to.
A dumb one.
Yeah. Another good one. Um, have you heard about Amazon regating people? It's kind of a new thing this week.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
I think it's real. I've
You
seen
can.
more than one person talk about it now.
Uh,
I think you ought to rethink your stance on that.
no, I won't. I think it's a stupid sales pitch.
No, this is people way outside of that group that you're
Oh,
thinking of.
okay. I still don't believe it.
Okay. So maybe episode
Stupid.
9 we're gonna show how wrong Jeff is,
I
and
think stubborn,
yeah,
but I don't. I don't know. They probably will. I think they'll kick everybody out eventually, once they have retail dominated. And
yeah,
I also think, they're going to get broken up eventually. Um,
yeah, it got to.
yeah, they're going to
It's
get too big to where you're going to start seeing Walmart and Target struggle
yeah,
more than they already are. Like I'm telling you, it's going to get to the point.
or there will be partnerships made. I don't think anybody's ever thought about that or talked about that yet.
Monopoly.
What if Walmart partnered with Amazon? Their distribution center.
That's a. Yeah, they
What?
wouldn't. They wouldn't allow that.
Hey,
There's no way they would allow that.
okay. Well, you never know.
No, I know.
Also, there's no regating. That's not a thing, everybody.
When
Hate
you
you.
get regated for something, we'll talk.
Okay. Man, I don't want to make another point, and this kind of goes right on along with the tools and all that stuff and the auto parts that I bought. Man, just let your passions, let your the skills and talents you have just fuel your journey. And don't make it harder on yourself than it has to be. If you know something, if you know quilting, go all in on some quilting stuff, if you're a reseller. If you know sports, go all in on some sports memorabilia. Whatever don't make it harder on yourself. Yes, do learn other areas. Please don't take it like that's what I'm saying is don't go outside your comfort zone, but use what you know and your knowledge to your advantage too. Don't be like me and wait a year to get into this stuff.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to learn new things. Just don't be. I mean, there's so much shit I don't know. I mean, there's a market for everything. So even if you like, I don't know, dressing up as Pikachu, there's billions of other people that like to dress up as Pikachu too.
I want to
Or it's
stop you right there and ask you why that was the first thing that came to mind. I don't really need the answer. We all know the answer.
no,
That's
and
something
I
that you
don't.
like to do
I don't dress up as Pikachu, but I was trying
anymore.
to find something that I find weird people that do, and weird people like to dress up as things. But in addition, like you said, quilting is huge. My wife's friend, her mom makes a fortune selling quilting machines,
Oh,
selling. Um,
yeah.
there's trade shows dedicated to that stuff. They travel.
An embroidery machine. If you ever find an embroidery machine for under a couple $100, poo! Those
Yeah.
things go for thousands
Yep.
of dollars, some of them.
Yep. Yep. They do. A lot of them. A lot of them do. Especially the good ones. But it's there's just. I mean, there was. I mean, what was that eBay story? Like one of the first things sold on eBay was a broken laser pointer. It
Really?
was yeah, it was like I can't remember where I think I may have found that out at eBay Open,
You may
but
have made
like,
it up.
and it's at no, they have a whole thing of it at eBay's corporate headquarters. It was like the first thing was like it was a broken laser pointer, and so there's a market for everything. It could be broken. You can sell your used shoes, dude. I have a pair of Adidas Ultra Boost, cost me $160 brand new, and I wore the shit out of them. I'm thinking about just putting them on there for $10 and seeing what I can get from them.
$10? No, man.
I'm telling you,
35.
I can go 30. Yeah, I'll do 30. They're worn though. They're worn bad.
Sold.
I've put a lot of miles on those things. So yeah,
Just don't make it harder than it has to be.
yeah, and be on the
And-
lookout for my used shoes.
yeah. Guys, you don't want those shoes. I'm
Oh
telling you.
no.
Telling you.